Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at AMP. If we actually take a look right now, we are sitting right at 6 cents. We are seeing a 0.46% decrease in the last 24 hours, and you can actually see that we had a nice push up to almost 7 cents August 27th at about 11:05 a.m. However, that has pretty much diminished since then. We've seen a lot of volatility, but mainly decreases across the board for AMP specifically. If we take a look at the last week, we are seeing about a 0.06% decrease. So, pretty much a flat really just a flat price point of about 6 cents, but we are still seeing decreases across the last week. And if we take a look at the last month, a 13 to 14% decrease in AMP. What this makes me believe is we are at a very, very good buy-in spot for a lot of people interested in AMP. If you've been waiting to pull the trigger, this next couple of days could be your chance to really secure a good bag of AMP at a fairly low price. I do think AMP is still going to be a big coin. We've talked about that safety and security sector on this channel before, and I still think it's going to be a big deal. As crypto mass adoption takes place, what are people going to do with the, like I said, safety and security going to always be a big deal. Obviously, like I said, with mass adoption taking place, it's going to even remain a bigger and bigger deal as more people jump on board. I do want to take a look, like I said, at the last year. We are seeing about a 529% increase, so it's not all bad. And you have to remember, the guys, if we take a look at the last month, that July 28th mark was about 7 cents. It was actually a fairly good point for, AMP specifically. That July 28th was at the pretty much peak of July. Obviously, we had the June, price of about 12 cents, but later in July, that was, like I said, that was the peak of July, about 7 to 8 cent range. So it is understandable that we are seeing about a 13.62% decrease just because that left side's so high. But do remember that we are going to see kind of volatility like this, and your coin's not always going to just straight pump up. And I do expect big things to come to this coin. And like I said, a lot of retail as well as institutional investors most likely won't be investing in AMP here in the next coming days. We've talked about the big news and big, really, rumors with Amazon obviously being kind of called out untrue, but there could still be big things coming and brewing behind the scenes with AMP, and maybe not Amazon, but so many other companies have the opportunity to jump on board. I do want to talk a little bit more about the AMP price chart and more what I think about the future of AMP. But before we go into price predictions for the end of the year, the end of the bull market, I will say, guys, if you have not already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on to be updated with obviously crypto news relating to altcoins, whether it's AMP, whether it's Cardano, Chainlink, Polkadot. We talk about them all here on the channel. So like I said, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's jump over, though, to the price chart, or really the prices all across the board. So right now we are seeing Bitcoin kind of decline just a little bit. We actually saw it, below 46K earlier in the week, but it's great to see, or below, 47K, not 46K. We saw it about 46.3K. So it is nice to see it back up in the 48s, but we are starting to see a kind of a decrease in this last couple of hours. We actually had it above 49K, 49.2 or 49.3K, and now we're dropping down to about 48.6K. So we could see a solid decrease here in the next couple of hours, which would give you guys another, like I said, little bit of a discount on AMP. Like I said, AMP's at a very good price to buy in. I would wait a couple more hours, see what the market decides to do. And if, you do see it drop below, 5, there's a possibility that we see AMP drop below 5 cents before we see it rise, higher back to those 10 to 11 to 12 cent marks. So just keep that in mind. Be patient. Always, like I said, always dollar cost average during dips. In my opinion, that's the best way to actually engage into crypto. I will say as well, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research before investing. But let's jump into some of the most recent kind of stuff regarding AMP. So the first thing is kind of obvious. We've talked about this a lot, but I do want to reiterate how big this is. So AMP actually collateralizes any type of asset transfer, whether digital or physical. Today, AMP is providing the collateral for instant fraud-proof transactions made using more than 25 different digital assets. So AMP is, like I said, doing something that a lot of people are going to want to, utilize or use in the upcoming weeks, in my opinion, months ahead, as we get more and more people jumping on board with crypto. Another thing to note is the Crystal DeFi having an exciting week. They actually have an upcoming AMA with AMP token. That is today. This is going to be absolutely huge. Obviously, not much. If you actually go to the AMP Twitter, and there's not much information on AMP, so it's hard to make some of these update videos because there's not too much information to give you guys. I dig very, very deep to find what I can find, and previous weeks we've had a little bit of stuff to talk about. Today we aren't going to have too much. So we do see, on their Twitter specifically, not much. We see really just rewards being added to the liquidity on SushiSwap. That was back in August 12th. So nothing too recent. It's very sporadic. And we see, like I said, a Crystal DeFi talking about an upcoming AMA. That could be absolutely huge because that's one way to get that news or information that we don't seem to be getting update-wise on their Twitter, which I don't love. But, we've had this with VeChain in the past, and VeChain started, tweeting all the time now. So it's great to have these little moments because honestly, it kind of depletes that price just a little bit so people can jump back on board and then ride it back to that, 10 to 11 to 12 cent mark. I do want to talk about, the future of this AMA. So when this, AMA is over with, I'll probably do an update video covering the AMA on AMP, and that'll be like a little update video for us regarding AMP and where I think that AMA kind of took us. Like I said, I think there'll be a lot of great details, a lot of great questions asked because we need some, new stuff. We need some new information, and I think we're going to get it. So jumping to the actual website, though, there's a lot of reasons to actually invest in AMP. We've talked about a lot of them, but, they talk about let's take money into the 21st century. AMP provides assets like GUSD with instant verifiable assurance for any real-world application. USD as well, obviously, so many more, CUSD. They talk about how they can stake, send, and repeat. So AMP is an extensible platform for collateralizing asset transfers. AMP effectively decentralizes the risk of asset transfer, and the AMP smart contracts offer a variety of built-in incentive models. So if we actually go down, it talks about why AMP. Well, AMP helps you decentralize risk for your users with smart contract features, purpose-built for collateral, nothing more, nothing less. So they talk about how there's collateral as a service, extensible and open source, asset agnostic, and obviously non-inflationary as well. So there is a lot there to actually look into. I don't want to jump in too much into the website, though. I do want to talk more about the price charts I wanted to, kind of mention earlier. Before we do so, guys, though, I do want to say, if you guys didn't know, I did just launch a Patreon when I hit 100K subscribers, or we as a community hit 100K subscribers. So I do want to say thank you guys again. But, we have a limited number of silver level remaining. So some people have bought the silver and gold already. So we have about 99 remaining on the silver and 24 remaining on the gold. Bronze is unlimited, but if you do want to jump in here and actually take advantage of low market cap picks, you'll be the first to see them. Pre-sale opportunities, ICOs, you'll get discounted merchandise, you get Twitter and Discord exclusive one-on-one conversations with me. If you guys want help, I can definitely help you. And I also give you guys my portfolio and some of my bigger trades as well. So a lot of opportunities there if you guys want to take advantage. Like I said, in the description, patreon.com/cryptoprofityt. I do want to jump back, though, to that price chart. Like I said, a lot of people have been talking about the future of AMP, where we could see it in. Realistically, I want to give you my conservative price prediction. So if we jump back to the last year, the highest we've seen AMP actually push to is 12 cents. And we have to remember, this is all recent. We've come from a below 1 cent mark back in, December. So it's great to see this push, but we have to remember where we've come from, how fast it's gone up. And, realistically, we are not going to see a, $2 price point by the end of the year, in my opinion. By the end of the year, we could be lucky to see about a 20 to 30 cent price point. We would be over that all-time high. However, it'd still be within range of a, fairly low market cap, something that makes sense. Definitely when I was looking at TA regarding AMP, 20 to 30 cents by the end of the year, definitely like I said, within range. I do want to say by the end of the bull market, we could see much higher price points. I'm really price targeting 50 cents by the end of the year. Or sorry, not by the end of the year. By the end of the bull market, I'm targeting that 50 cent range. Bull market part 2, obviously hoping to last as long as possible, giving us extended prices that continue to grow and give us profits. But you are going to want to profit take, obviously, as we get closer to the end of the bull market part 2. We're not quite there yet, that's for sure. So we'll see. And like I said, we'll keep you up to date through it all as well. So thank you guys again for tuning in. If you have not already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter as well, CryptoProfitYT on Twitter, trying to give you guys the news and updates for crypto there as well. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.